Evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, welcome to the Teardown. For the next 3 hours, we will be looking at non-stop show choir action, looking at the 18 competitions that we will be having this evening. Now, we are so excited to bring you what has been a truly phenomenal day of show choir, and let's start talking about what has already happened for the day. And I know normally you would be joined by Chris Mendoza. Unfortunately, he is out there absolutely killing it with Diamond Bar Marquee this week, so you will be stuck with me. We are so excited to bring you some of the early results from the day, as we have already had some of our 18 competitions we've seen report. The first, we are looking at some results from Los Alamitos Extravaganza. Starting in Mixed Division Tier 5, we had Norco New Generation take musicianship and showmanship, Summer Breeze Palm Desert, and Upscale East Los Angeles Performing Arts Magnet. They're having a long day. California doesn't generally do finals, so many of the groups you'd be used to seeing a second time around, they're just be sitting on one go. For Mixed Division Tier 4, you had Eisenhower's Ike Singers, Valencia's Just For Show, and Glendora's Highland Airs, mostly their second group, with Eisenhower's Ike Singers faking the double win with the sweep. For Mixed Division Tier 3, you had Mayfair Showtime take the full sweep against Golden Valley Melodies of Gold, and they had their single gender competition, mostly sitting as expected, with Saugus Blue Heat taking musicianship, Mariners Mayfair getting second place, and Bona Vista coming in with a third place with showmanship, and Bria Olinda taking fourth. Now, as we turn to some of our major competitions in the center of the country, we have Brownsburg, that Bulldog Spectacular that has already reported almost all of their finalists. They've had none of our results come in yet. With finals currently going on, Avon Accents about to perform. We have the treble finals of Zionsville Corollaires, Franklin Central High Voltages, Carmel Accents, and Avon Attraction. That has just finished up as we've entered into our second performance of mixed finals with Zionsville Royal Airs, Avon Accents, FC Singers, and Carmel Ambassadors. This is going to be an interesting one. We're going to see a lot of talented groups that are going to be sitting very close. Prelims at the treble finals were unbelievably close, so we should expect that to continue going into finals. Honestly, as much as I'd love to predict the finals for the single gender, I think I can no longer live by the show choir transitive property that has essentially become a circle now. So generally anyone can win coming into finals at this point, as all of the groups have proved that they have the ability to end the night as grand champion. And it's frankly getting to the point where I've just wanted to stop doing rankings only for the fact that it's just too darn hard. We see Zionsville Royal Airs that has seemed to find a new gear after last week. They looked phenomenal coming out of their prelims performance. Their finals performance was another level. For a group that has consistently been able to compete with the top groups, but sometimes not get that little bit to get over top, this could be their day. They have been phenomenal out there at Brownsburg. Coming in at we also now need to turn to Fame Orlando. Real quick to answer that question, I'm not tracking if finals are occurring. I know they have yet to report. Sometimes showchoir.com is a little bit behind, so I'm not sure if there are finals going on at any at this point. We're going to turn our attention real quick to Fame Orlando. Fame Orlando has already finished up their day with Davenport Central Singers taking almost every caption possible, with best vocals, best choreography, best band, best crew, best male soloist, best male stage presence, and best female stage presence. That's not a sweep. I really don't know what is. They took a few captions away from Sparta's Upstage Adrenaline, who left with Best Fame Soloist and the Fame Award, a very solid result for the group, who has consistently been near the top of the Wisconsin show choir scene. Now, they finished up what is a 8 competition season, which is, I mean, all respect to every person who's in Sparta. Doing a 8 competition season is definitely a grind. Briarwood Christian Radica took the 3rd place with Best Show Design. That finishes out a solid Southern season for them. They made the trek down to Orlando. Blue Valley Chamber Singers made their 3rd runner-up. At Fame, with Tift County and American Leadership Academy bringing up the rear of this competition. All competitors did very well to see themselves in the treble division. Rise of Adrenaline, Sparta, followed by Briarwood Christian and American Leadership Academy Rhapsody. That is a close to Fame Orlando, which is a phenomenal win from Davenport. That's going to finish out their season with their 4th win in a row, and they will finish actually at Fame Finals, and they will go in there likely as a very strong contender to take that grand championship. We're going to see, we have also seen a report of Green Bay Southwest Packerland Powerhouse Showcase, which is frankly just a phenomenal name for a competition. There are very few times I can think that any person should name any of their competition not for a National Football League franchise, and in the future, nearly every competition should be required to name something for the local area. Dupree Jam Session came in and won that competition. Now it did not do overall best vocals, best visuals results. So while you aren't going to hear them, it's not because no group won them, but because the group was able to pull some, or the competition didn't hand them out. Dupree Jam Session came in to win with their 3rd win of the year, a solid finishing season for that program. Mentano Magic is going to win their was able to take a best runner-up, or a 2nd runner-up. That is going to be their best result of the year. You saw Bayport Pandemonium get a 3rd place as well, their best result of the year. And Encore and Center Sage both taking no placement at this competition, so we obviously don't know where they ended up. Overall, a solid start to the day. There's been quite a few results that have come in. We are going to start working through them slowly. I am obviously not Chris Mendoza, as much as I wish I was able to go and direct California Show Choir this week. I am with you to hopefully bring over the next 3 hours some of the major results we've been seeing, and hopefully some analysis with me and the other members of Homeroom Show Choir. We're going to slowly work through what has already been put out, and then we're going to build on the major results that are coming late night. So expect some of the major results coming out of Indy. We've got the Brownsburg will report in a couple hours. We have Wheaton Warrenville South. That is where John Burroughs Powerhouse is competing against Lafayette Jefferson and Fisher's Electrum. You also have major results coming out of Marysville. We're going to see a lot of really amazing groups coming out of that area. Let's talk real quick about Martinsburg, the All-American Classic, with Robert C. Byrd High School coming in with Best Vocals, Best Choreography, Best Test Group, Best Dancer, Best Bass Soloist, and the overall Grand Champion. That is a very strong result for them after missing finals at the uber-competitive Franklin Central Hoosier Show Choir Classic. If that doesn't speak volumes about how difficult that competition was, then I don't know what does. They were followed up by Jefferson High School Pop Singers with Best Show Design, Best Sportsmanship, Best Instrumentalist, the guitarist, and the overall 2nd place. You had Ravenswood with Best Costumes, Best Treble Soloist, and overall 3rd place. And then Titan Tempo, Tuscora High School. That is where they finished out over at Martinsburg. What looks to be a very, very solid win for a very strong West Virginia group in Robert C. Byrd. We have yet to see anything come out of Mount Verton's Midwinter Classic. Likely that will not have a large amount of reporting, as it doesn't look like we have a ton of groups that are there. Norwell has dropped has had a solid number of finalists. They'll have five. They had 5 going into finals and 2 treble finalists they have reported for the day. Anderson Swingers Unlimited was performing at 8:30. Alliance Jet Setters at 9. Pike Encores at 9:30. Carroll Magic at 10. And Chesterton Sandpipers at 10:30. Carroll looks to go on a strong set of wins going right before they enter into Show Choir Nationals next week. They came off Mount Zion, where they got a very strong second place to Center Grove Sound System, a group that has remained unbeaten for 18 competitions. They'll all after Norwell, they will enter into Show Choir Nationals, which will be one of the best results of the year. If they're able to secure a second win, that'll be their second after the Northrop Classic, really saying that they're solidifying their ability to win at unnamed starting competitions. Carroll Select Sound and Chesterton Drifters will also take place going into their second set of treble finals. They have already finished up and should be reporting after Norwell Night Moves exhibition, which the last finalist starts at 10:30 or so. So we should get those results in close to about an hour to an hour and a half from now. Looking ahead, we have Westwood Jubilation. Their mixed Tier 1 high school division, Burke Synergy, took their first place in prelims. Their first win in prelims this year. They seem to have put together a strong result to end their season. They will be joined by Bellevue West High School West Connection, Omaha North Explosion, as well as Bishop Helene Harmonia Mundi, and Sioux City Center Satisfaction. Hilton Community Soundwaves, Logan Mangolin Off Center Stage, and Missouri Valley Mo Show have also made strong shows, but it will be Sarton Bluff Luton Unleashed, Bishop Helene Magnifique, Bellevue West Connection, Sioux City Satisfaction, or Sioux Center Satisfaction, Burke Synergy, and Harmonia Mundi from Bishop Helene. That is going to be your finalists from Westwood Jubilation. They should be reporting decently soon, so we should have results coming from there in a moment. Winfield has reported their finalists, with ETC All-Americans getting back on the winning stage with best vocals and best choreographies. Herbert Hoover High Impact taking the second runner-up. ETC Rouge coming in with that third place. Polka Visual Volume coming in with the third runner-up. And Rhythm in Red with their fourth runner-up. ETC getting back on the winner's circle as a season that has not been nearly as dominant as their last season, but still a phenomenal show that they've been able to put together, finally getting back on that winner's circle this year. Truly something that is really good for the show choir community. ETC is a phenomenal program, and we're just so happy that they were able to come and win again this year. So far, that is most of the results we have received. We'll be kind of bringing you the analysis from the day. We've had some major storylines with really interesting results throughout the country. As we turn to one of our largest competitions of the day, the Marysville Showcase, we have Fisher's Sound closing out single clef finals with Lafayette Jefferson Expressions and Burbank Blue Impressions. Fisher's Sound was able to take a rare joint win last week with CG Debtones. Shocking for Pendleton, largely because the judges were so swayed by both shows that they could not find a reason to split the two. So we'll see if Fisher's Sound is able to not only reign supreme in the indie circuit, but also against a top-tier California program. In finals, you have Ross High School Legacy beating out phenomenal programs in Beaver Creek Friends to get the last overall final spot. Olentangy Keynotes were able to pull a spot here in the ever-competitive finals. You have Burbank In Sync, shocking no one that they would be in finals, the amazing program coming out of Los Angeles. Fisher's Electrum from Fishers, Indiana, was able to join in the party, as well as Mark Myers' Lafayette Jefferson First Edition. Lafayette Jefferson, for anyone who's watched it, is the most sound you'll ever hear coming out of 25 people in your entire life. It is truly phenomenal what they are able to put together on stage. We are looking to see, we'll see if Millard North results come in here soon. Looking at Valley Vista Monsoon Madness, Horizon Step on Stage was able to finally step on to that winner's circle, gaining their second win of the year after a third place at Burbank Blast. They will take home 66% of the grand championships that they attempted to gain this season. They were able to pull out an amazing win against standouts from the prior week, Diamond Bar Marquee, who took Best Show Design after a win with at the Esperanza Spectacular. Boulder Creek Broadway Bound took their third runner-up, with Cypress High Voltage coming in fourth place after a solid 2-win season. Then we had La Cueva Underground come in a fourth runner-up. They looks to be finishing out their season. Oceanside Soundwaves came in first in Mixed Division Tier 2 with Bose Music and Show, followed by Stellar FX, Shadow Ridge, and Verado Voices of Venom. Tier 1, looking at their treble division, you had similar to the Mixed Division with Boulder Creek Heart and Soul taking Music Show, Show Design, and Best Soloist, and Diamond Bar Solitaire coming in with a Best Vocals. Now, as we go, we turn our attention to Wheaton Warrenville South. That is going to be what a lot of you guys are going to be sticking with me toward the end of the night, and seeing where these results end up. John Burroughs Powerhouse led the way going into finals, largely because of their larger setup time. If you haven't had the opportunity to watch John Burroughs Powerhouse, I would highly recommend it. It'll transport you right back to the 70s, especially with the roller skates. You had Mount Zion Swingsations coming out at 8:45. They were followed up by Omaha South, the Ambassadors, followed by Illinois standout El Paso Gridley Modulations, Wheaton North Flight, and Wabanussie Valley Soundcheck, who's partying like it's 2013 again, where they have finished with 2 strong second places. The group is looking to what seems to be a resurgence in these past 2 to 3 comps, and with this finals appearance, it really indicates the group is a lot further along than I think many expected them to be this season. They've really pushed the envelope of where this really historic program has been able to go. I expect results to kind of come in with a decent amount of expectations. I'm going to try to limit the amount that I focused on predictions tonight. I want to just be here to kind of celebrate the results of those groups that are able to make large wins. But occasionally, when we have downtime, we'll look at some predictions. I think John Burroughs Powerhouse will comfortably take this competition, with Wheaton North Flight being right there at the end of the night. Wabanussie Soundcheck could also play into the podium, with EPG, with Mods having a real good shot of also being up there on that podium. Swings has been really strong dancing these last couple of weeks, so they could very easily get into a close competition with Powerhouse for best choreo. Now, unfortunately, they will go from a week where they competed against Clinton Attaché to now a week where they're competing against John Burroughs Powerhouse. That's just a really not pleasant series of competitions if you want to come out with a grand championship. So all respect to them and the work they're putting in. Aberdeen Central, though, has finished up their day. It does not look like we have results, but the event was canceled. due to inclement weather. And at 1, all of the Aberdeen groups went out on stage and performed with their for their friends and family to close out their season. A rough way to finish what is a strong season for all those programs. Bishop Hendrick Little Rhodey Rumble, again a competition with the chance for best name of the day, looks to close out their day with Daniel Hand Vibe, Tantascwa Regional High School, and South Windsor Choral Spectrum. That after a solid set of results from Mixed Division Tier 2, with Scranton First Edition coming in with the best vocals in nearly everything. Best vocals, best choreo, best band, best crew, and best costumes, best soloist, and the gold medal. Shepherd Hill Regional Valley took their best, took a strong second place with Shepherd Hill and Dartmouth Dynamics coming in with a third place with the silver medal. In the treble division, Scranton continued on their winning ways with a sweep of best vocals, best choreo, best band, best show design, best soloist of both male and 3 female. I can't tell if those are, but 3 or 4 best soloist awards with a gold medal, and Illusion Shepherd Hill Regional coming in with the silver medal. Now we turn. Now Zionsville finished earlier with Avon Accents finishing up at the moment. We have finishing into FC Singers, who look to be in the prime position to possibly get an upset. Their earlier program, or their earlier show, showed really strong vocals coming out of FC. They will be really difficult to beat the end of the night, but Carmel has a real shot to obviously come back in finals. They've done it before. They will possibly do it again. Do not count Carmel out at the end of the night. If you want to watch 2 groups duke it out at the top level, I would strongly suggest turning into Brownsburg Gym right now. It is going to be one of the better end of night's results, as both these groups are going to come out with a vengeance. I've got it behind me on my computer so I can get those results to you as quickly as possible. They are going to be at their best right at the end. So we're going to enter into a little bit of a lull as we enter into our kind of in-between time before some of those major results start coming in. Overall, the day seems to be going somewhat as expected. We've got most groups that we expected to sit in finals are sitting in finals. And as much as 2026 has been mostly crazy, there have been very few moments where we've had kind of an insane result for the day. Now, obviously, that's going to change very quickly. We've had several amazing group performances, and so those finals are going to really be what stands people apart at the end of the day. Most of these groups have performed 4, 5, maybe 6 times. That's going to make a decent amount of chunk, especially in a competition like Marysville. Let's turn to that right now. For your groups, you've got Burbank, that has just come off one of their first big 3 wins with music. They're going to be competing on a very different score sheet than what they're used to, a much more central score sheet. That's going to make a difference. Now, I don't think there's any groups that are going to really be in contention to hold with them, only because of group size and generally what they're able to put into their show. Burbank puts a ton of amazing story notes. That's going to be really difficult to catch. Ross really putting in a strong result. After a second place at the Fairfield, or at first place in Division Tier 2 at the Fairfield Crystal Classic, you're going to put a strong show on stage. They are also choreographed by Randy Sage, who does Burbank, who's one of the main director of Burbank. So that's both a help And kind of one of the fun things is that they're going to compete against the person who choreographs them in the group that he directs. Fisher's Electrum is going to be one of the 2 indie groups you're going to see making finals. And they are a really, really strong group. They're likely going to have the single-gender finals winner coming out of Fisher's, but it'll be really interesting to see where Fisher's Electrum ends up, especially against Lafayette Jeff First Edition, who they faced early in the year and lost to. That's going to be very, very close. Fisher's, though, has shown an ability to lose 1 point in the season and turn around and get the win if they are able to hold on to their sound. They have done very, very well when they have held on to their sort of vocal tone and vocal intonation. You've also got Olentangy Keynotes. That is a phenomenal program that will be looking for a possible second grand championship and another amazing result. After a strong second with best choreography at Taze Valley, that would be an amazing result for the program if they're able to keep within the close of some really, really, really good groups that are going on. If you guys have any questions or anything you'd really like me to focus and cover, either drop it in the comments or drop if there's a question bar below. I'm obviously the only one here today, so we may get some people to join who've been out at the bout at the competitions today, but unfortunately I was the one who had to stay behind and see all of the competitions from my screen so I can report them all live to you here at the end of the night. We are closing down on the last 2 performances for Brownsburg and Lawrence Central. Lawrence Central should be performing here soon. Art Stuff by Tay is asking, what is my favorite costume I saw today? By far my favorite costume I saw today was the Prince costume from Franklin Central FC Singers. Mostly because the super shiny shoes, those are called core frames, and so I saw them in the light, and it was really funny because below is like an old army uniform, and so I thought it was really funny that they repurposed that uniform in their way with what looks to be only can be described as Cinderella's Prince core for the jacket. So I thought it was a really good repurposing and reusing. For overall group, I'm going to have to give that to John Burroughs Powerhouse's 70s costumes. Those things look like they just boogie. They just boogie. I have no other way to describe it than they just boogie. So I'm going to have to give those to both those groups. Actually, my third favorite was Avon's mixed group put the amazing closer costumes, but my favorite was actually when they split by accident. One of their group members had an equipment malfunction, and instead of closed, the jacket was open, and I thought the jacket was open was actually much better than when they have them closed. So I thought that was a really good addition to the show, and I wish they would have generally kept it that way. As we move into the night, we should get the majority of our results coming in around 11 p.m. That's when we're going to see the majority of our results coming in. We'll have some off and on results coming earlier than that, but that's when most finals are going to close out. We should expect some late ones being the Marysville Showcased, the Wheaton Warrenville South, which is likely why many of you have tuned into this live stream to get looks at Wheaton Warrenville South and Marysville. So we will do our best to see where each of those. We also have Brownsburg. Brownsburg looks to be a really close one. I actually, for the first time, I think Franklin Central FC Singers has a real shot at taking the win here, but I think Carmel has every bit and every ability to take it from them. I think it's going to be really close. I think Franklin Central, Carmel, and Zionsville all can be on that top step, and I'm not going to be that surprised. I mean, frankly, I'd be surprised if Carmel does end up losing, only for the reason of Carmel has been on top for so long. It would be a surprise. But I think that Carmel is going to take the win here only because they've been there at the end of the night. They've shown they can win. I think FC likely has the best shot on points to win, but I think Carmel is going to be able to pull something out of themselves to really win. I think that, and then I think Franklin Central High Voltage is really going to walk away with that treble victory. I think they have put together a really strong show, and they've beaten Carmel before. So I think they're going to walk away with the victory here. When we turn to some of our comps that have already closed for the day, or starting to close for the day, Lawrence Central has not reported their mixed finalists, but it can be. I know that North Central High School made it and is sitting in the final prelims or final spot, but they are doing it on random order, so I would be very surprised if they are not joined by Plainfield Bellabo, but I'm not sure who's taking that third spot with Castle, Night Sensation, Lawrence North Legacy, and Ben Davis Premiers, all three having a real shot at that finals, or that last final spot. Apologies, putting my earbuds so I can hear FC's finals performance going in my ear as I report all of you. I am no better than any other show choir nerd. We expect some of these results to come in probably in about the next hour. It is a little bit of a dead time right now in the show choir space, only because most of these results have yet to push out other than the ones that early reported. And we're having a little bit of a lighter week with only 18 competitions. I know that sounds still ginormous, especially with some being canceled out in the West, in the Central Valley. So if you have any questions or any major storylines you'd like to be talked about or reported on, drop them in the comments, drop them in the questions box, and then we will drop, as we get those results in, we will inform as quickly as we can. Overall finals at the Columbia City Cup have dropped with Northrop Charisma finishing out finals, Homestead Clash Royale at 10 p.m., Huntington North Varsity Singers, Northridge Northern Lights, and DeKalb Classic Connection. It's been a solid couple of weeks for Northrop Charisma, who's been in and out of the indie circuit with 2 third runner-ups. If they are able to close the deal on this competition, this would be their first win of the year. Would be a really solid result for the group that lives largely in Tier 1 in what is a very difficult a difficult place to win week in and week out. You got Homestead Clash Royale, a perennial Fort Wayne group who's got 2 second place. If they're able to finally finish the deal, that'll be a huge win for them as they enter into their off season. Huntington North Varsity Singers, who spent most of their year in Tier 2, is really putting together a strong season. Northridge Northern Lights, this would be an amazing getting up there for them, and making finals alone is a really strong place for them. DeKalb Classic Connection, getting finals here was a really strong win for them. They've had a strong show all year. Maybe the results have not displayed that as much as other years, but they've really displayed some strong vocals, some strong choreo that normally would otherwise you wouldn't see in a lot of Tier 3 groups, but they've been able to really put out a show that is really strong. And so Sorry, taking a look at something on showchoir.com. I fear I live and breathe, as with everyone who is likely here, on the glory of showchoir.com. We'll be looking to see some of the results coming out of Indianapolis and the center of the nation in the next couple weeks. For Brownsburg, we saw a couple of sad exits early in the day. The unfortunate part of finals is that some really amazing shows in these stacked competitions don't end up being seen at the end of the day. For mixed division gym prelims, you had Glenwood Titan Fever and Mitchell Friendecoop not join in the finals fun. Truly terrible, something that sucks to see them out. But then again, you sit at the end of the day and you say, who would you have put them over? And over Carmel, over Zionsville, over Avon and FC, they've all been just phenomenal, with FC looking one of the strongest vocal shows they've put on the stage. Is even this season, from week to week, they have found a new gear tonight that is reminiscent to back when I was competing against them in 2022, 2023, when they were taking best vocals at stacked competitions. They have really pushed to become a really phenomenal choreo group, and they have found that vocal strive again, which will put them into a real strong position. Someone asked predictions for Show Choir Nationals next week. The joke amongst homeroom staff is that we will know what's going to happen at Show Choir Nationals at 2 p.m. on Central Time next week. I have an idea of where I think they're going to go. I think CG Sound System's got a really good shot at taking that win. I mean, they've won 18 times in a row. They are beyond strong. I've watched them live this year. Phenomenal group. Homewood, the network, looks to be in third, or looks to be in second at this point. They could very easily take choreo. They're amazingly strong April James group. They can dance the hell out of this group, out of stage. Now, here's where the fun begins. Because 2 through about 8 are within 20 points of each other. It is extremely close. It will be, I'm guessing, about as close as it was in 20, if not closer than it was in 2023, where 4th through about 7th was within a couple of points, and an amazing group in Oak Mountain didn't end up making that Nationals finals. I think right now, if I had to pick third, it's a really close. 3rd through 5th, I think, is really close between North Central Counterpoints, Loveland by Request, and Grenada Visions. I'd say I'd keep them all really in close. I will give the caveat that I am a North Central grad. I think Loveland put on a hell of a show against Zionsville Royalaires that they were able to win. They've displayed that they can go out and do it. Grenada, they were second last time they came to the Show Choir National stage. They may not have had the results that they would love to expect in a season, but anyone who's watched that show knows that they will eventually get their flowers at the competition, and Show Choir Nationals may be that show. I don't want to assign placements between those three. They are just so darn good and so darn close. It's going to be really fun to see who comes out. And those final 2 final slots I want to give to Finley First Edition and to probably Fishers. But the problem is I'm not saying that because Fishers. I'm saying that because how am I going to leave out Carroll? And how am I going to leave out Brownsburg? And how am I going to leave out Glenwood? This is the wonders and amazing part of Show Choir Nationals is like when I say, oh, I want this group to, I'm leaving this out. I'm leaving this group out. So I believe anyone could make finals. I think the 2 locks are CG Sound System and Homewood Network. I think Loveland and North Central are as close to locks as you can get without kind of that push into that next level. If if North Central is able to secure a win again tonight against Plainfield, I think they're pretty close. I think Loveland, after the Zionsville win, is in a really good shot. But first off, to the person who just asked about how many nationals go on per season, that's a great question. There are going to be 3 major national, personal programs that run national competitions. It's going to be FAME, HOA, and Show Choir Nationals. The main one is really going to be Show Choir Nationals. That's the generally respected that who really are is the most respected and creme de la creme. I've had the opportunity to perform at Show Choir Nationals. It's regardless of if you go and you're competing to win, whether or not you're competing to make finals or you're competing just for the experience, it's truly worth it just for the experience. It's one of the greatest experiences you get as a show choir, as both a parent and a competitor. So I'm really excited for everyone who gets to compete at that competition. But the main, you're going to get, and then some major national competitions. You'll see that at Marysville this week and Wheaton Warrenville South. Those are, and Brownsburg. These are groups that attend nationally. So I'd say your group that is really described, there's no one national championship, but the closest you're going to get is Show Choir Nationals. That's why LaSalle has returned so many times, and why Carmel and Center Grove and Linn-Mar and all these truly just amazing groups have come back to go through Show Choir Nationals. So we're going to see where everyone ends up. And I'm glad, first off, we're so glad to welcome any new parents, any new individuals to the show choir programs. By the way, how we figured out who, Homeroom does our best to do the impossible when we figure out who's number one nationally, and we do it the best that it possibly can be done, and that also happens to be the worst way. It's just complete math. So anyone who looks at our homeroom national rankings, those are extremely just for fun. They take into account how many groups were there, things like that. It is a complete math equation. So don't ever, when you look at those national rankings, always take them with an extreme grain of salt, but look at them for fun, and they're a ton of fun to look at. And don't ever be worried to be asking a question. Anyone who truly loves show choir will be glad to answer any question about show choir. I know I'm 3 years graduating, and I'm just glad to still be happy here and a part of the circuit. Sorry, I'm slightly getting distracted by the wonders of Franklin Central's ballad going on right now in my ear. Fame Orlando had, I'd like to report again, Fame, Davenport Central Singers took best vocals, best choreography, best band, best crew, best male soloist, best male stage presence, and best female sound presence in what is a really strong sweep for them. Right behind them is a really, really amazing group in Sparta Upstage Adrenaline. They are possibly my favorite Olympic show. That I know that's not saying much, but I really can get behind any Olympics narrative. Briarwood's Christian Radica was able to come in with Best Show Design, taking a major caption for the program at this national event. Blue Valley Chamber Singers was able to get third runner-up. 8th Street Tift County Singing Company was able to pull a strong fourth runner-up, and then American Leadership Academy. Let's look and see if Millard North has reported. They're dealing with, I think, some weather, so they may be cutting it a little bit short. So we'll see if they have finished up there. And they have reported a major result coming out of there with Sioux City East, the headliners, taking their first win of the season with best vocals. Grand Island taking Best Visuals right behind them. Harrisonville Music Makers taking Best Band. Sioux City East Prestige getting 4th runner-up, and Norfolk Velocity getting 5th runner-up. That is a huge win for Sioux City East. That is an amazing result for the group. This is their first win since Sioux Falls, Washington Best of Show, February of 2025. That is an amazing result for the group that has been right there at the front all season. This is their 4th competitions, and they have been the bridesmaid 3 times, and they finally come out and secure an extremely strong win at Miller North. For Grand Island, they were unable to secure a 4th win of the season, but will be very happy to walk away with the Best Visuals caption for their for the 4th time they were able to walk away from that competition with that caption. That is a huge result for them. Harrisonville Music Makers with a 3rd. That is a great result after an improvement from last week. They were able to take on large groups, which is always a difficulty for a group that's a little bit smaller. Sioux City East Entourage was able to pick up a strong win, or a strong 4th place. Sioux City East Prestige, that is an amazing result for a treble group. Getting into overall finals any time for a group that isn't named Tupelo Synergy is really just an achievement, and Tupelo is just a breed of their own. So we never question when Tupelo comes in and just takes care of things. Norfolk Velocity finishes out the day. That's amazing for them. That is their first time making finals this season. Any group that we can see getting into finals is a huge win. That is amazing for the program. For our most recent question, I've got 2. First, who am I? My name is Will Kaiser. I am a member of Homeroom Show Choir. I've been an indie contributor for the past 3 years, where I've increased my ball knowledge greatly due to the wonderful people that I work with, and I get to learn tons more about show choir. I was in North Central Counterpoints for 3 years, and I was a male feature in North Central Descants. And in college, I attend college in New York, and I have been a director, and I direct a show here, at the college I attend. So, the second question, do you know why treble groups only compete one time while mixed have prelims and finals? That's really a question of where you're at. For a lot of places, they'll have both treble and mixed prelims, and they'll declare grand champions in both for each division, and then they'll provide a winner for the overall finals. So they'll provide finals in Indianapolis. A lot of groups, they'll have both treble and mixed finals, and they'll have both finals for each tier. So all the treble finalists will be able to make treble finals, and at some competitions, they'll have finals for every single different division. Just chopping down 1 to 2 groups out of every single one of the major different divisions. Other sections of the country will just do overall, where they say, hey, Everyone got their opportunity to compete. Everyone was amazing, and we're going to declare winners for each of those divisions. Then we're going to say, hey, those of you that really stood out through us throughout the day, we want to see you again. We want to give you a chance to declare an overall competition grand champion. It really depends where you're at. It's a really difficult thing to understand sometimes. I know when I started to branch out and kind of learn a lot more about show choir, that was one of the things that really confused me, especially when I realized that one of my friends who had been doing show choir at a truly top tournament was like, yeah, I competed at finals 3 times in my 20 competitions. And that blew my mind. So that was very interesting. And some will just say, hey, we're only going to do finals for multi, and some they just don't. They end up not including due to the fact that there were no single gender groups that were able to crack into that top 10 due to some amazing groups being there. For the single clef division at Wheaton Warrenville South, thanks for reminding me, they closed out their day early with John Burroughs' Sound Sensations getting both best vocals and best visuals. Mount Zion Les Femmes was able to take a strong second place after some really strong results. Vivint Naperville North was able to get a strong third place. Franklin Community Sensations, who largely compete in, often compete in Tier 2, were able to pick up a strong, was able to compete at a strong 5th place. El Paso Grinley High Fidelity was able to pick up a strong result, with You've Got Mail by Mount Zion getting 6th place, who is maybe my favorite group of the year. You can never go wrong with a You've Got Mail show. They are just the most fun you'll ever have. And then Wabanesi Valley Resonance coming in with 7th place. We do not have results of the prelims. We just know who got into finals. To answer the most recent question in the chat, the Show Choir Nationals is, you're going to find out, kind of its own thing. They only do Thursday, where they do one and dones due to kind of ability to meet the needs of both the Opry and the groups. So Debs will compete, and all the single gender groups will compete on Thursday. They'll crown a grand champion. Then on Saturday, all the prelims groups will compete. Then they'll announce finals, and then they'll have an Opry show in the Opryland that night. And then on Saturday morning, everyone will get up at the butt crack of dawn and go compete for a Show Choir National Championship. It's still pretty fun, and it's a great way to wake up when you're the first one up there that morning, and you're performing in the first slot, and it's like 8 a.m., and you're having fun performing on the Grand Ole Opry. So let's take a look at where some of our major groups, Franklin Central FC Singers just competed with a really strong finals for show. Carmel's going to have to put something really good out there to make this a competition. They have truly gone out there and put something special on stage. Let's take a look and see how Marysville, if there are any updates there. They look to be some large mixed division daytime awards. First runner-up in the large mixed division was Burbank InSync. First overall was Burbank InSync. First runner-up was Fisher's Electrum, and second runner-up was Olin Tangi Keynotes, with Best Crew going to Lafayette Jefferson First Edition. The Spirit Award going to Beaver Creek Friends. Best Show Concept goes to the Murder Mystery Show of Fisher's Electrum. People's Choice Award goes to SOUND Fisher Sound. Best Costumes goes to Lebanon Singers. The Judges Award for Best Jump Scare goes to Lafayette Jefferson Expressions. Judges Award Best Pinball Trio, Olin Changi Keynotes. The Best Brass Feature, Lafayette Jefferson Expressions, quote unquote, Release the Sass, Fisher's Electrum. Best Dress Director, Rhett Tempo from Beater Creek. Best crew member, Burbank in Sync. Best soloist was from Fishers. The grand champion of small mixed division was Lafayette Jefferson, first editions. First runner-up, Ross Legacy. Second runner-up, South Dearborn opening night. They have a strong set of finalists going into it with Lafayette Jefferson and Fishers Electrum. For the question of what are my thoughts on Glenwood not making finals, I think it is an unfortunate byproduct of how amazing Brownsburg is, less about Glenwood. I think that you would have a lot of groups in the country missing finals. At that, there are a very, very few groups that are going to make finals between between Carmel, Franklin Central, Zionsville, and you got one more spot. You got Avon. You've got Avon, who had an undefeated season last year and what can be argued as one of, if not the most competitive circuit in the country. You have Mitchell, who is their Friendicoop. They may not have as great a result, but they're still Friendicoop. And then you've got Glenwood. I think Glenwood put on a great show. I think they're an amazing program. And I think they're going to be just in a difficult spot to win or to get into finals just as anyone else would. Thoughts on Vala Vista? I'm left with really happy thoughts for Horizon Step on Stage. I think they put on really, really strong show this year. I think they're going to be in a really good spot going into next year. Diamond Bar, obviously I'm friends with Chris Mendoza, and he is an amazing leader of that program. I think they have an amazing show, and I think any show that's able to beat that amazing show is really going to be able to go out there and put something crazy out on stage. Broadway Bound for Boulder Creek, that is just an amazing result for a group that has yet to make finals for the year, so I'm really happy for them. La Cueva Underground making finals, especially in a large mixed division, or at the highest division, is really good for that program. Cypress, this will be probably, they're moving up from largely Tier 2. That's really strong for them to go out and put against some really, really good groups. What's going at Greenbrae? Frankly, the best competition name I've seen in a long time. I think it doesn't provide me as much info as I'd like, only because I don't have those same, they don't have the same, the words are escaping me. They don't have the same captions as other places, so I can't see how close it would generally be as we can see at other competitions. I think Dupree has really put a strong result, a strong show out there. You don't win three competitions by accident. So they put a hell of a show out there, and they're going to be in a great spot. Their 3-win season is going to put them in a strong place in Wisco Show Choir. Will bring, I think, usually our fearless leader, William Soki, is going to come on the pod at some point, so he will give us a solid result and understanding of where we're going to go. Mankato Magic, a second place for them is a phenomenal result. After their throughout their season, that is a massive jump from where they were at, especially after missing finals at John Hershey. That's amazing for them. I'm so glad for their program. They were able to put something strong out there. Bayport Mandemonium, again, another strong result. Another strong result for them as they've missed finals once or twice. So that's amazing for them to be competing there close at the end of the night. For Encore, I'm sorry, I'm not saying the name. I do not know the name of that. That's cool. They missed finals their last couple of comps. This is, again, they're going to be competing with some really strong groups. So these groups were able to put on a series of really strong shows. They were able to get some results that they haven't been able to get all season. For Dupree, they've obviously come out and done what they do, and that is win. So we're very happy for all those groups, and we're glad they were able to put out a really, really strong show. Let's do a quick run through real quick and see if there are any results that have posted. Low Sal will likely be posting in the next couple of minutes. They've been posting throughout the day their results as they come. Oop, Carmel coming out with a vengeance. They know they got to come out here strong. And they are sounding like they are singing for their lives. And we are very excited to see what that brings. Apologize, singing or speaking for over an hour straight is a lot of fun. For reference, by the way, I have a decent amount of show choir ball knowledge, but I have not seen every show that has been put onto stage, nor have I been able to see everything that has gone on today. I'm not omniscient as much as I wish as I could be with show choir. So I may not know every single group that we talk about in this pod, and I'll try to bring you the opinions of those. I will try to bring you the opinions of those that might know a little bit more about your circuit or your area. So I will try to get some opinions of those people, and I will not speak about a group, about who they are or what they do without full knowledge of them. So I promise you that, because I do not want to make assumptions about a group when I don't know that much about them. If I was in that group, I would feel real bad because some dude talked bad about my group or said that we weren't as competitive or as amazing as we were, and I don't want to be that guy. So I'm going to do my best to limit my ability to do that. 166. As again, I want to repeat, at Aberdeen, all of their groups, due to the weather, they had to cancel all the event due to their weather. So they were able to put all of their groups and perform one final time, and they filled that auditorium to capacity. Thanks, Quinn, for putting that reporting out there. So that one's really that really sucks. Blizzard concessions. So so I am very much excited for them to put all of that work in. That is truly amazing to see that they were able to bring all those people to that auditorium, especially in those blizzard conditions. That's something that should be commended. Really happy for that program. Glad they were able to perform one more time for their community, and able to kind of give those kids one more shot, for those that are ending their show choir journey, to kind of finish out their time and perform for those that care about them. Lawrence Central is yet to say who has made finals, so it may come a little bit that we have yet to see. I know North Central Counterpoints was performing at 10:45. I'm not sure about any other results that have been out there yet. I would be surprised greatly if Plainfield was not the group that joined them, but I do not know who would be the other finalist, largely because there are some groups there that are really, really close to one another, so I don't want to assume that one group was in finals when one group was not, and that would be not a pleasant experience for all of us involved. Let me look and see what else has reported in the last little bit. We will see Green Bay. I'd like to also, as has been dropped in the finals, or they were unable to hold finals due to the worry of the blizzard-like conditions. But again, amazing job by that program that was able to put together still a great competition without risking anyone's health and safety, and was able to put all the people where they needed to go and get them right back where they needed to go. To the question that was asked, Harrisburg seems to have put a really strong season together. Anytime you're putting a second place in a really strong, in Iowa is really, really strong any given year. Mitchell looked to be a hell of a competition. I personally wouldn't have wanted to be. We've really those South Dakota comps are extremely competitive, especially at the top end. So if you're able to put a strong group like beat a strong group like Scott Catholic or Sioux Falls Jefferson, that's a really or any Sioux Falls Jefferson group, that's really strong. To those that are asking what we cover, we're really going to take a look at all of the results as they come in and get some live results, reactions, and some live kind of commentary on what they mean, because a lot of time when you're watching showchoir.com and you're just taking a look and seeing what each group is putting out there, you may not know what those mean in context. A grand championship, due to the way that competitions work, each one of our competitions across the country may mean something a little bit different, and some of these big competitions may seem a little bit deceptive. So we want to kind of provide some context about what's going on in the show choir world, what a win might mean for one group, what a missed finals, what something else might happen at each competition. For example, Marysville, if you were just going through, Marysville's an extremely difficult competition. Some groups might have made or missed finals, but you'd be like, oh my lord, I can't believe they missed finals. That's insane, when they're in groups that are just amazing. It's truly awesome how good some programs and how competitions can be, and how amazing groups that miss finals can be. A great example of that is going to be Glenwood and Mitchell. Phenomenal groups. Beaver Creek at Marysville. Phenomenal groups. All that missed finals because just there were some groups that had truly amazing results that they might have otherwise not been able to. They would have made finals at 10 other competitions, 15 other competitions, hell, 17 out of 18 competitions this week, and there was one where they were going to make final that day. So always look out for that, and that's what we try to do here, is provide some of those contexts that would otherwise be unavailable if you're just scrolling through showchoir.com, or your kid is complaining or telling you something and you just want to get some ball knowledge. And I'm here to provide that as best we can. And that's the other thing. Judges sometimes go out there and we're yeah, it's a truly judges make a big difference, and I think we all need to remember that everyone in our show choir community is human. Individuals, young people on stage are going to make mistakes. Judges are going to make both the amazing decisions, and what we need to remember is that everything about show choir is great, and people put on amazing shows. So I will not ever go here and say, well, the judges made a wrong decision. The judges made the decision through their years of expertise, and there are very many times I watch shows and I'm like, thank God I'm not on that judging panel. Good luck to you. You have fun with that. So I don't question some of the difficult decisions that those people have to do. Looking at Wheaton Warrenville South, it was a truly gauntlet to go through at Wheaton. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 groups at prelims. Mind-boggling numbers. So almost half of your groups got cut before finals. So 5 groups, 5 likely phenomenal shows ending the night. So you've got mostly the groups from the end of the day getting to repeat their show, getting joined by Wabaunisee Valley Soundcheck and Omaha South, the Ambassadors. So we'll see as those results come in, but you also have 2 really strong California groups from the California Big Three and Los Al, John Burroughs Powerhouse and Burbank. Los Al is hosting their competition this week in California. John Burroughs is out here at Wheaton near Chicago, and Burbank is at Marysville in Ohio. So you've got some really strong representation from really, really amazing California groups, and we're really excited to see how those competitions end. If I had to take a look, I assume John Burroughs Powerhouse is going to finish the night on top at Wheaton, but it's going to be close behind them, so there are going to be some really, really amazing shows. That's definitely one, if you were able to witness, that's going to be a really, really fun show to watch. They've got some great judges there. They've got some great judges. Tori Brindis is phenomenally qualified. Mike Weaver's very qualified. Scott Thorne's very qualified. John Burles is phenomenally qualified. So that judging panel is going to be able to put together as good of results as you can really hope for. Let's look and take our gander at what has been finished up. If there's anything that's finished up, if anyone can put together Bishop Hendrick, they should have been done a while ago, but it does not seem as if they have reported their results. They might have gotten hit by a storm of some sort. They may also just be finishing up finals as they had finals awards at 10 p.m., which they could be an hour different, so they could be just dropping finals results now. Brownsburg is Carmel just hit their ballad, so they're going to be finishing up. Their show here soon. They're entering into close to their closer. Some of our Nebraska competitions and Wisconsin competitions, due to some snow, have reported early. Lawrence Central is coming close to being to its end with all division awards there. It's coming in about 30 minutes. Martinsburg has reported. Mount Vernon hasn't reported any of their results. We'll see if we can get those results for you here soon. They seem to have finished up the day but have not reported anything. Norwell should be finishing up their exhibition here soon, so we'll see if we can get those results to you as soon as Norwell Night Moves finishes up their results. Let me click and so I can mute that and get those results for you as soon as they come through. Westwood Jubilation will be finishing up and reporting soon. Burke Synergy was able to take first place there in finals. Bellevue West Connection with the sportsmanship, and Omaha North Explosion in third place. So we'll see where they will report. They should be coming soon. I apologize, guys. I wish there was more for me to tell you, only that we're kind of in that lull moment before major results have started coming in. So if you have any analysis that you'd like to look for, Again, I'd remind you I don't have as much ball knowledge as maybe Chris Mendoza would or Will Soki would, but I will do my best to provide as much analysis as I can and to give you kind of those results as they come in. With results, we expect the day has gone decently as expected, so no craziness has happened yet. Oh, let me look. Carmel is just finishing up the show. Carmel is just finishing up their show now, so all that is left from Brownsburg is the Brownsburg exhibition. That should be a close to their night. Once they finish up that, we will get those results for you. They will likely be some of the most interesting of the night, as all of those groups have been really, really close all day. They are starting to ask for reps. That means things are getting interesting. They are entering into we're entering into the latter half of those results phase. As we get into that, a quick reminder to all those watching that some results may be here that you're going to be happy about or sad about, and I'm really sorry if you are, but ultimately those results are what the results are, and we're going to both celebrate and be happy for those groups that have really good results today, and celebrate the amazing shows of the groups that maybe don't walk away with the biggest trophies, but irregardless, we want to walk away happy for everyone. So I'm not going to put anyone down, and I'm not going to make sure that we're going to celebrate our winners and celebrate those who maybe didn't get as amazing or as happy with their results, but we're going to be just happy with them overall. We will be seeing Norwell results here in a few minutes. Norwell seems to be just finishing up their their performance. We've got Wheaton and at this point we're kind of sitting in the lull where we don't have a ton of competitions that have reported yet, and we don't expect them to report for a little bit. The competitions we probably expect to come in the next 30 minutes are the Columbia City Cup. That should be coming in here soon. It looks that Columbia City is doing their finals performance right now. You have Norwell that is putting on their final performance at the moment, and then you have Brownsburg that's just about to begin their finals performance, but they have a little bit more of a setup, so we may be waiting on them for a second. Once we get those results, we'll get them into you, and we will provide them as quickly as we can. If there is any questions or... Brownsburg is doing their Miracle Minute, so... At the moment, we are just waiting on major results to come in, and we will provide you with them as quickly as we can. Apologies for kind of the lull in results, but I cannot make them appear. I wish I could. And I think we just got new ones. Manchester Manchester, the Coast Classic, has just report with Midlothian just for show, taking best vocals, best visuals, best band, and overall grand championship. Matoka High Impact with first runner-up with the best treble soloist and best overall performance. Harbor Lights finishing up. Clover Hill New Dimensions was able to take from Mixed Division Tier 2. Night Scene Thomas Dale in second place. Illusion Atlee High School. Mills E. Goodwin debut. Power Resonance. Evolution Pokesman High School. Hanover Sound Effects. Colonial Forge High School was in fourth place in Mixed Division Tier 3. So those results just dropped and just reported. So that's a really good, or that's a very positive win for Midlothian. That's their first, or their second win of, or no, that's their first win of the season after 2 strong second places. And that's another strong second place for High Impact. So this is a very strong result for 2 Virginia schools, and that's really strong of them to come out and get the job done. Marysville showcase. We're still waiting on Marysville results. Let me check and see. Norwell is just finishing up now. Columbia City just finished up their live stream, and so we will not get live results from there. That is unfortunate. So we're going to take a break real quick, and then we will come back on once we get some more results. And we are back with looking at some results that have happened this week. We have had a ton of results come down the way throughout the day at some of our 18 competitions, with Norwell looking to report here in the next few minutes as they finish up their show, and Columbia City finishing up as we speak. So they will likely announce results in their gym. They will come into us as soon as we can get them. We will also get Los Al as soon as some of those final results report for mixed. Finally, we can report some Mixed Division Tier 3 with Mayfair Showtime taking music and show with Best Soloist and Golden Valley Melodies of Gold. We are waiting on Norwell. We were waiting on Norwell, Marysville, and then Brownsburg is about to pick up their results coming into going into finals. Guys, if you have any questions or any analysis you'd like from the day, please let me know. Obviously, we are in kind of the lull between results, and I am doing my best to fill as much as I can with it. Looking at Fame Orlando, Davenport Central took home one of the major competition hubs that we've needed all week. So that's a huge win for Davenport Central. Sparta put up a very strong show with Best Female Soloist and Fame Award, and Briarwood Radica was able to put a strong result out on stage with second runner-up. So that is a really, really strong result for them. And that's going to be a really strong result going into Fame Show Choir America in about a week, where they're going to be able to go right back down to Florida at Hard Rock Live and put together results. They've qualified for Fame National Finals with that win. So we are very excited to see where that ends for them. Brownsburg is just starting their finals performance right now, so they will have their final results, and we can see where this major competitions finish. So let's look and see if there are any results coming in from the major competitions of the day. Let's look back at Martinsburg American Classic. Robert C. Byrd was able to take a win this year with Best Vocals, Best Choreography, Best Band, Best Tech, and Best Dancer, and Best Bass Soloist, and with the overall Grand Championship. Jefferson Pop Singers Pop Singers with Best Show Design and Best Sportsmanship. Very strong result for Robert C. Byrd. They were able to win after missing finals at Franklin Central. They'll go into West Virginia Show Choir State Finals with a Show Choir Festival with a very strong win. So we'll also look at Winfield Emerald Classic. ETC All-Americans was able to take their first win of the season. They were able to put a really strong result on stage. That is going to be another strong result for we also have our Marysville Showcase. That's going to be a really strong, interesting end of the day with Burbank in Sync, Fisher's Electrium, Lafayette Jefferson First Edition, Olentangy Keynotes, and Ross Legacy. They were able to put an extremely strong result out there with Ross making finals for the first time in a while. That is an amazing result for the group. They were able to take a win last week at Fairfield in Mixed Tier 2. Competing in the top group is really strong for them. They then hosted their comp the week prior. South Dearborn was another second. This could be another really strong result for them. Lafayette Jefferson First Edition has a real shot to, after completing in small mixed, to going to the first overall spot. That would, or not to be in a second and close to Burbank. That would be a really strong result for the group, especially in their third group under Mark Myers. That's something that really is impressive. So we will see if they are able to push. If they are able to push toward that top result of the year and put that out on stage. We'll see where they end up at the end of the night. Obviously, we are at the behest of those live stream results, and we will get them to you as quickly as we get them. Let me go through Columbia City. City Cup has not reported yet. They were most recent to finish up. Brownsburg is just finishing up their competition result there. Expect some interesting results coming out of there. It was very, very close at prelims. So we'll see how that day ends. I'm about to get my second win as we moved into the halfway point of our Show Choir Saturday here on the Teardown, with about half of our results coming in, largely that due to a blizzard up near the north of the United States, which has taken out a large chunk of our competition results. At least at the nighttime, a lot of those groups canceled their finals, which otherwise would have been difficult to maintain. With results coming out of our competition in Bishop Hendrick, Little Rhodey Rhapsody, with Daniel Hand Vibe winning with Best Choreo and Best Vocal. South Windsor Choral Spectrum winning getting second band with Best Band, and Tantasqua Encore take third overall. That's not yet to be reported on showchoir.com, so we are very excited to put that out to all of our viewers. So Daniel Hand Vibe is going to take what I believe is their 5th win of the season. That is an extremely strong result for the group, who has remained sort of the class of the field in the Northeast, with only one loss to the truly unbeatable choreography of Marysville Swingers Unlimited. They have just been on an absolute tear with choreo this season. I believe they've retained that caption the entire year. I don't think they've dropped. They've dropped one to CG Sound System. Okay, that one's valid. But except that one competition against CG Sound System, they have retained Best Choreo the entire year. They will compete, or they will put one last show out there this week at home competition at Marysville. So, unfortunately, we will not be able to see that result, but they will be able to be seen one last time, and that is awesome. So if you wish to watch Marysville, you will be able to watch one last go of Marysville Showcase. Right now, Marysville is on Burbank and Sync. Their final result tonight. If you have a chance, go tune in there. It is a truly phenomenal show. Brownsburg is just cleaning up in their second number, so expect some results there in about 20 minutes or so. Let's take a look and see if there's anything else result-wise coming out. We have let's take a look. Wheaton Warrenville South has a strong set of competition wins going on right now, with Mount Zion Swing Stations, Omaha South the Ambassadors, El Paso Gridley Modulations, and Wabanisi Valley Soundcheck finishing the day. They should be coming close to their end at this point, but they could be closer to being real late. Historically, this competition has been a late one. So I would warn that it may take some time to get those results in. As reported, almost all of the Northern Show Choir competitions have ended their days early due to the weather, with Aberdeen Central having to close out the day all the way without any groups except those that are native to the high school performing. But that was a very cool opportunity for those groups to show their stuff Brownsburg will be Brownsburg with some. Before we get those results, let's create some understanding of where that competition, what that means for all of those groups. Zionsville Corollaires tied with Debtones earlier in the year, and then took a win, and then lost to Plainfield Fairfield Classic last week. They've had a very interesting year, very up and down. If they were able to get a win here, that would be a really huge result for the group. They've been really, really talented, really phenomenal, and they've faced some really difficult groups. Franklin Central High Voltage swept Carmel earlier in the year and is now coming back with a vengeance, trying to get their third win of the year against Top Indiana group. They swept Fisher Sound at Center Grove Best of Midwest. They lost to Carmel Accents at Chesterton Trojan Classic. They lost to both Fisher Sound and Center Grove Debtones at Pendleton, and they might be able to come all the way back around and beat Zionsville, Carmel, and Avon here at Brownsburg. Avon Attraction has had a solid year with 2 wins. They were able to win both Mooresville and Plainfield. It's also a little bit of a misnomer. Their third runner-up at Petal, that was in overall finals. So they have done very, very well for themselves. Looking at the mixed division, you have Zionsville Royalaires coming off a loss to Loveland, but after getting very close at Pike Music Fest. They are looking for their second win of the year. Avon Accents, coming off an undefeated year this year, has put two wins together, both at Mooresville and at Plainfield, and a second runner-up at Petal to a really strong Homewood group. So they have done very well after the only other blemish on their record is against a strong group in North Central Counterpoints. And the really close fault of the night, Franklin Central FC Singers versus Carmel Ambassadors. Carmel has consistently been able to defeat Franklin Central. The last time Franklin Central beat Carmel is longer than I can really remember, but if Franklin Central is able to put together this win here, it would be a massive moment for the indie circuit. FC would be able to and finally get over that hump of beating Carmel and Center Grove for the first time in some time. It would be a really amazing result for the program. They performed phenomenally well. Both groups will be difficult at the end of the night to put over one another. Fortunately, the judges will make that decision for any of us, and that decision will be taken care of. So, that leaves us with Marysville and Wheaton for our major comps of the week. Burbank is performing currently their second or third number. We know things are still going because he still has the quill in his hand. So the quill is still in hand. So we shall see where things end up with Brownsburg, Columbia City. Let's see if Columbia City has finally reported they finished up their results here a minute ago. Nope, they have yet to put it together on showchoir.com, and I unfortunately have yet to be able to pull their results out of the end. I would expect after Northrop was leading going into from large prelims, I would expect them to be close, but it was a best vocals, best visual plit, so it could be very, very close going into finals. All right, let's take a look at anything new. LaSalle has yet to report. I'm so sorry. I just keep wishing and going that there'd be new results, but unfortunately, the place that we're in, we have nowhere new being reported. Aberdeen Central. Daniel, once again, we just got once again, we just got Bishop Hendrick, Lil Rody Rumble, Daniel Hand, Vibe, South Windsor, Coral, Spectrum, and Tantasqua Regional, with Daniel Hand taking the gold medal, South Windsor taking the gold medal, and Tantasqua taking the silver medal. Those medals just generally signify how overall they would do in the overall world of Northeastern show choir. As we look, let's take a look at Wheaton Warrenville South and kind of break down what each of that means for each of those groups, as it's going to mean something different for each of the amazing groups that went out there performed. Lawrence Central, the Classic, should be reporting here in a few minutes. We'll see results as they come in. I'll try to get a hold of those. It will likely, and that should provide some interesting look at Indiana show choir. Marysville provides an interesting look at how close Fisher's Electrum and Burbank and Sync are. Okay, take a break. I'm talking to myself. So, as we look at Fisher's Electrum, Lafayette Jefferson, first edition, they're going to provide some interesting look at how Fisher's Electrum and Lafayette Jefferson first edition compare to each other, especially at the end of the Indiana season. Olentangy Keynotes were able to bring themselves into finals. That's a really, really strong result for the group. Also for Ross High School Legacy, beating out large mixed group in Burbank in Sync, or in Ross Lakes and Beaver Creek Friends. That is a really strong group that they were able to get over top, especially as a small mixed group. That is not the easiest thing to do. It's really impressive that they were able to get into that 5-group final. So we will be excited to see how those results end up, how each one of those groups places. We're getting awards from Norwell now, so we can finally start to deliver those awards. So we should be able to provide you some some references on what is going down at Norwell. That is a question, or how close Carroll Magic and Chesterton Sandpipers are together. Two very strong, with the third runner-up going to Anderson Singers Unlimited. That's a strong result for that group. That's going to tell you how close Carroll Magic is, especially going into their show choir nationals performance. They're going to be very close. For second runner-up at Norwell, we're going to see Pike Encores. That leaves the expected results between Chesterton Sandpipers and Carroll Magic. It's going to be really close between the two. And the director said, simply, this will be fun. I can guess that this is a split caption with Best Choreo going to Carroll Magic. That is a really strong result for them going into with a really strong result for them going into Best Vocal is going to Chesterton Sandpipers. That's a really strong result for Chesterton. That means that there's a caption split. We'll see where this ends right before Brownsburg finals. We have 2 finals awards. They're going to thank their sponsors. For reference of what this would mean, Chesterton and Carroll are 2 very, very strong Fort Wayne groups. That is going to be a really close result between Carroll and Chesterton. Both of those programs desperately want to win this matched up. First runner-up at this result, too. Oh, they're doing the drum roll. Chesterton Sandpipers takes the first runner-up, which means Carroll Magic is able to secure their second win of the season. That is a really strong result for the group. That is going to really help them get as they move into show choir nationals. That's a really, really strong group that is going to be extremely strong going into show choir nationals. Watch out for them to be they're going to be a really, really strong contenders for finals this season. Now we get to see the Brownsburg finals results. This is where things are going to get really interesting in the indie circuit. This is where we get to see where things end up, and we're really excited to see where these results go. We are super excited to see what happens. They will be they're going to be really interesting as these finals awards drop. We've got some really interesting storylines going into tonight. With this is a deeply important indie comp for a lot of these groups, and primarily it's the last competition for the year for Franklin Central and not for Carmel. Carmel finishes their year at Noblesville, but for Zionsville and FC Singers and possibly Avon, if they decide not to submit their scores for ISMA, this could be a really, really important result. And so we will see how those result, how that result turns into a major ending for those groups. We'll see how those results, this could be one of the most fundamentally important results we get in the indie circuit for the next several weeks, and going into 2027. So if you're going to tune in to one major results, I would say that this is going to be one you're going to want to put in. We're going to hopefully get one or two of our overarching big bosses to come in a minute to talk to you about kind of what they've seen throughout the day. But this is going to be a really big result as Franklin Central, as Carmel, and as Zionsville and Avon look to finish the night as one of the better results of the year. This is going to be a big one overall in the indie circuit and throughout the country tonight. So we are really excited to bring those results to you here in a moment. I think that once we get those, we should start getting a flurry of some of the major results. We should expect Lawrence Central coming in the next hour to hour and 30 minutes or so. We should expect Marysville to come in the next 40 minutes as Burbank is just finishing up their set now. It's going to be really close. So we're really excited to see what ends up happening at these competitions. So we are very excited to see how Brownsburg ends up. Let's take a look and see at how Martinsburg ended up at the end of the day. Robert C. Byrd was able to take their first win of the, their first win of the year. I'm going to ensure that's true. Yes, that is accurate, after missing finals at a stacked Franklin Central comp. So they have left their foray into the indie circuit and have come out the stronger to take a strong win. As Brownsburg looks to will be announcing their finals awards. This is a big one. People be ready to listen to what will be likely a huge set of results for the indie circuit overall. So I know if you have not been with us most of the day, my name is Will, and I'm an indie contributor for Homeroom Show Choir. The third runner-up of Treble Finals Tier 2, Carmel High School. That is a huge win for some of these programs that are not connected to larger groups. It's going to be a big win for Whiteland takes second runner-up, so they're following exactly as expected. Cathedral will likely finish their year with their, I believe, with their second win of the year, but they've largely been competing in Tier 1. They take best visuals. They will also take best vocals. That'll be a sweep for Cathedral. For treble Tier 2 will likely go to mixed Tier 2, and then finish out with what looks to be a truly interesting this will be a truly interesting result coming out of Brownsburg. Burbank is putting on a hell of a show right now, and at Marysville, so they are absolutely cooking. So watch out for them. They will likely have one of the best one of a very strong result coming out of they need to have a very strong result for them. Bloomington Kennedy, I think, is putting on a solid show right now. I am looking and seeing where some of my friends are telling me, Bloomington Kennedy's putting on a really strong show out at Los Al. They're putting on a hell of a performance. They have a really good shot at taking the win here at Los Al overall. They are putting on a Cruella show. It is a very, very cool show. If you have a chance, it's a really good Whiteland Community takes a third runner-up in the mixed division at Brownsburg for Tier 2. Or second runner-up for them is Newcastle Red Hot Blues. So now it's going to be a close between Carmel New Edition and Franklin Central Encores. Franklin Central takes best visuals, I believe. I think yes, best visuals. We're about to get the major results coming out of Brownsburg. That is where we're going to see a really close. Best vocals goes to Carmel New Edition. So it's anyone's game going into finals. I think this is really a preview of what we're going to see in the next about hour or so between the first runner-up goes to Franklin Central, with Grand Championship going to Carmel. Now we will see if that is going to be the trend going into large mixed and large univoice. This is going to be one of the most interesting results of the night, so stick with us. I know it's been a lot of I know this is going to be a lot of results, and it's been a long time listening to my voice, and I'm glad you've tuned in to join with us and are still listening and joining me at this point. So we are so excited to bring our gym treble division. This is going to be one of the most interesting set of results of the indie year. So, to bring you up to speed, the Indie Univoice division has what only can be described as a circle, or the circle of Indie Univoice life. They have all been defeating each other, and for two of these groups, this will be the last stop on the train for them. For 2 of these groups, they will go on to compete one more time, but this is an extremely important competition for Zionsville, for FC, for Carmel, and for Avon. This will reset where the pecking ordering is. Our third runner-up was Avon Attraction. Not a lot of surprise here. Here's where it gets really interesting. Second runner-up goes to Carmel Accents. Now things are getting fun. It will now be a one-stop shop between Franklin Central and Zionsville. Best visuals go to Franklin Central. This is a huge result in the Indie Univoice. This is very... Carmel Accents takes 3rd place with best vocals. Wow. I think we can assume then Zionsville Coral Oaks Cape's first runner-up, and Franklin Central, it could be their day, with Franklin Central High Voltage taking the grand championship. That is a huge result. That is a huge result in the Indie Univoice division, continuously making our lives harder. So that makes things very interesting, with Zionsville getting 2nd place after losing to Plainfield and beating now Zionsville. That is, and now beating Carmel, who swept the field at Zionsville, or at Chesterton. That is now mixed is coming. This could be Franklin Central's day of reckoning. This is a heck of a day for them. Franklin Central High Voltage has proved they can be at the top of the podium. So that is a huge win for Franklin Central. Avon, though they get 3rd runner-up, that's not surprising, or that is not a big surprise, but that is a really, really strong program. So getting 3rd runner-up in this competition is winning almost anywhere else. So they have done a really good job. Best visuals goes to Ambassadors. Wow, that's a strong result. Wow, back to old ways. Franklin Central has kind of fallen back in the and Franklin Central FC Singers takes the win. This is a massive win for Franklin Central. That is huge for the program, taking it with best vocals. That is massive for them. That is huge for Franklin Central. They have finally cracked the code. They have beaten Carmel. That is a massive, massive win for the program. Congratulations to them. What does that mean? That means Franklin Central will move out of the 3rd place likely in the indie world for the first time in a while. That is a massive moment. The last time that Franklin Central beat Carmel I'm going to take a second to find out. I don't want to speak out of turn, but it's been a long time, at least since I've been in show choir. They have not. It is likely post-COVID. They have not beaten Carmel, so it is very, very, very strong result for the program. That is an amazing result for them, especially to do it with vocals. That's amazing, especially for the group that has moved from being as much of a vocals group and becoming more of a choreo group. They have strongly pushed themselves to be just at the top of their vocal game. This is truly an amazing result for them. So that is a massive result for Franklin Central. They've really put together something amazing there. I'm going to find out right now where Carmel FC, the last time that Carmel beat FC Singers beat Carmel was in this exact competition nearly 5 years ago. Post-COVID, they were able to beat Carmel Ambassadors in 2021. That is a massive step for the program. The only FC Singers is officially the third group to beat Carmel since COVID, bringing CG Sound System and Linmar. So this is a major result for the program. Very happy for them. That leaves us with two major results left to look for. That's at Marysville and at Brownsburg, or Marysville and at Wheaton Warrenville South. We'll also try to get you the results that have likely come out from Lawrence Central, and take a look at where those mean. We'll keep you updated as best we can and kind of get you an idea of what is going on around the country. Most of the Northeast show choirs for the day have finished up. They finished their day because of a weather storm that could not be prevented. They finished their day early without having nearly as much of a result as expected. They were still able to put on an amazing show. Brownsburg is really going to be a thing we're going to be talking about. Let's take kind of an in-depth look at those results. Franklin Central High Voltage with best visuals coming in at first place. Zionsville Corollaires with best band coming in first runner-up. Carmel Accents in third place with best vocals, and Avon Attraction third runner-up with best soloist. Now that is a massive set of results. Also partially because just how skewed the indie sheet is towards vocals. That is somewhat shocking that they were able to put together a trebles finals where Carmel was able to get best vocals in third while still not be able to push up. That just displays how good visually Zionsville and Franklin Central were. That's truly something that needs to be talked about, because just how close Brownsburg's competition was. They did a good job at the judging table, not looking just at, hey, they seem to have weighed a multitude of factors. That was a really strong job by them. FC Singers, Carmel Ambassadors, finally in the finals gym, you have FC Singers, Carmel Ambassadors, Zionsville Royalers, and Avon Accents. Very, very few people were going to walk in there and say that was the way it was going to go. If people were going to, generally the result expectation was that if FC Singers was going to win, they were going to have to beat them dancing-wise. They did the opposite. They went out there and they won on vocals. What the FC Singers brand was built on is the ability to win with vocals. That has not been their standby the last 2 to 3 years. They did it today and they won. It meant something. Carmel put on a really visually strong show. Their show design, their everything about Carmel screamed professional, screamed professionalism. It's what they do in the program. It's who they are. You see it in every day and everything they do. Carmel getting second here. They're not going to get second at nearly any other competition today, except for probably Wheaton to Burroughs and Marysville to Burbank. So really, really strong show that is beaten by what seems to be one of the strongest shows in Indiana this year. Franklin Central, since the story change format in 2024, has gotten over the hump. This is huge for them. Zionsville will walk away with a third runner-up. They were close. I'll tell you, it was very, very, very close. So I don't think this should be discounted from them. And Avon walks away again. They're going to walk away at least a little bit sad, I imagine, due to being third runner-up, and need to remember that really, really strong programs like Mitchell Frendecu and Glenwood Titan Fever are not sitting in finals when they got a chance to perform again. So everyone walks away with a really, really strong result for the program. And I think that we need to remember how amazing that program and that set of shows was able to be. We'll take a look as we get into our final major results of the day. Let's go through and just scrub through showchoir.com real quick, see if we're able to catch anything. Los Al should be coming in here soon for their final results. Millard North has reported. Bella Vista has reported. Wheaton North we're still going to be waiting on for a while. Aberdeen took the day off due to the storm, so they were able to. Brownsburg was the one we're still waiting on. Fame Orlando, Dupree Jam Session was still waiting. Lawrence Central, the Classic, has reported finals Tier 2 from their auditorium. A crazy turnaround with Pendleton Pendletones coming in with the grand championship with best choreography, best visuals, best choreography or best visuals. New Palestine Crimson Heat won with, or got first runner up with nothing. Batesville Singers got third runner up or second runner up with best vocals, and Charbusco High School with New Era got third runner up. Pendleton, they were inevitable. They were able to come back, take the win in what seems to be a really strong result from them. That is amazing to see for the program to be able to go out there, get their second win of the season in as many times they've gone out to compete. Apparently awards at Columbia City have dropped. Let me go take a look and see. I have not seen, they cut off, I think, before I could see awards. So if you could drop those awards in the chat, that would be great. I have not seen any results from them that have been dropped on showchoir.com. So we'll take a look and we'll see there once those come in. Would love to take a look and see what's going on over there. Pendleton, great result from them. Hopefully we can get Lawrence Central. They should be done here soon. They should be dropping those results here in the next couple of minutes for large mixed. Those finals. Opinion on Fame Nationals. I think it's a great, any opportunity you get to go out there and compete against great show choirs, you should take the opportunity to. I think it's a little, it's a lot to ask groups to pick up and go all the way down to Orlando without a ton of notice, but I think if you sign up and you're really interested in doing that, then I think they're going to do great. Today for Fame Nationals, we had Fame Orlando. Davenport Central Singers took best vocals, best choreo. I think that's a really strong result from the group. I think they beat a really, really good group in Sparta. Sparta's been really, really good all year. All right, and then Briarwood Radica was also very good. Blue Valley is a great Kansas show choir, so that's a great result. Picking up, we just got results from Columbia City. Grand champion was Huntington North Varsity Singers with best vocals, best choreo. First runner-up was Northwood Allure. Second up, Homestead Class Royale with third runner-up. That is surprising. Overall, I mean, all those groups are really, really strong groups. They've been able to put a lot of a strong show on stage. Huntington North, I don't think would have been the group but they are just coming off a win at Jay County Show Choir Spectacular, so they've shown they can get on the podium at the end of the day. Homestead was right up there after two second place finishes. That's been a choir. They've been right up there with everyone else. So, I can't say I'm surprised by the end. Northrop has been really strong these past couple of years. Oh, wait, no, are you talking about treble? I assume you're talking about treble. No? Wait. Yeah, Northrop Charisma has been really strong. Columbia City is they were very likely very close, and so they've been I'm not super duper surprised by those results. I think Homestead would have expected to be right there at the end, and I think they were right there at the end. So we'll see where all those ends up. We've yet to get anything from Lawrence Central in the large mix. We don't know finalists theirs yet. We know that North Central and Plainfield and Lawrence North were finishing off the night. North Central is the only results that's been confirmed. Northrop Charisma, yeah, thank you. The only result that the finalist that I have confirmed is North Central High School Counterpoints. I have not confirmed. I assume they were joined by Plainfield Bellabo, but I can't confirm that. They have had over 40 groups compete today at Lawrence Central. So expect that to be a strong result for one of those two groups, both really, really close. Los Al should be reporting here soon, but they obviously have sound effects before, and that's a hell of a show. So if you get a chance, go out and take a look at sound effects and see if there are any results. Marysville should be coming in here soon. They're finishing out their day with Marysville Swingers on. Let me confirm. They might be doing finals announcements right now. Yes, Marysville is doing their performance for their families, so we'll get those results after they have finished, hopefully before the stream is over. I am sorry, we've mostly had our results kept to either the big ones we're looking for to the later end of the show, so we will do our best to get those to you in a timely manner. The big ones of the day that have dropped that is going to be surprising: Franklin Central beats Carmel for the first time since 2021. That's a huge win. That's a huge win for Franklin Central. That is another really just confusing set of results from the Indie Univoice, not because Franklin Central isn't a phenomenal group or Carmel isn't, but because it continues to judging panels continue to disagree, and that is likely because of just how close these shows are between one another, week to week, year to year, month to month. And these programs are really, really competing at the top of their game. Indie Univoice has been on this crash course for the set of results to continue to confound for the last couple of seasons, and I think finally has hit this. Now we're going to reinforcements. So we are very excited. He will join us here in a second.
Yeah.
Nathan, you have been at Brownsburg. What up?
We got
Y'all,
the crew here.
I needed the reinforcements.
Dude, that was so good. It was really good. Dude, Franklin Central popped off.
They
popped
They were
off.
on their legendary celebration.
They were on their A game.
Yeah, but Nathan, how did it look out at Franklin Central after that win?
Well, they were flying the French flag. They were going crazy.
They were going because Franklin Central FC Singers won, and then High Voltage also won, so they're very happy about
their
that.
prep group won.
Their prep group got second to Carmel.
But they're very proud because they took a caption off of Carmel.
Yeah, so very impressive.
It was very
good, very good day for
was
Carmel.
very loud.
Not Carmel, FC.
Yeah,
insane. This is their. Do you want to know the stats here?
It's their first win since 2021.
Yes, and in the last decade, Carmel has won 8 out of the 10 matchups. I think 8 out of the 9. Now it's 8 out of the 10 with FC taking today's matchup.
Yeah, and I want to give a special shout out to Avon Accents. I was not familiar with your game at all, but that was probably one of my favorite shows of the entire day.
We love the finale.
Both Avon
one
groups.
of the best closers I've seen this season.
Closer,
for sure.
What'd you think of Brownsburg's closer? That one's low-key lit.
I like their closer. I felt the dubstep was kind of out of place, like out of nowhere.
It did feel a bit weird,
but it was good. I'm going to see Brownsburg again at Nationals next week. So, Brownsburg. Mitchell missing finals. I knew it was going to happen,
Glenwood missing finals and Westfield missing finals.
That's they drove farther than I did. For the record, I drove from Sioux Falls, and Mitchell drove farther than I did for this. And
you just keep moving.
I'm not moving. You're moving. But I'll take the camera. So this is probably
it's now Quinn's show.
This is not even the farthest I'm traveling this season. I'm going to I'll be at Nationals next week. I'm traveling farther for that. I drove 11 hours to be at Brownsburg.
How would you rate it out of 10?
Out of 10, it's I don't know about ratings, but I will say it's probably one of the better competitions I've been to this entire season. Very high quality. I believe all of
so much food.
Yeah. Well, I had a Crustable, and that's about it. I believe all of the groups that made the treble finals in the gym would have made finals at Sioux City East last week. I believe all of them would have. Because I was there last. That was comparison for me.
And we finished on time, too. We were 25 minutes behind at one point, but we got our way back.
By the time we got to whoever went last in finals, we were like 5 minutes behind, so we caught up.
Yeah, clutched up.
Aren't you glad you don't have to rank Indie Univoice like we do?
I will say with Indie, with the treble stuff, Avon Accents, that was my favorite of them. I knew they weren't going to win the division, but that was my favorite of the treble groups. Avon Accents.
They put out a really good show.
Attraction was really good.
The double A names get me every time.
Yeah, they actually did that. They did that today when announcing.
They said
when announcing attractions, they called them accents.
They also one of the MCs also said bass instead of bass.
Yeah, for bass division, so they said bass.
Do we have Lawrence Central results?
I'm trying to find them right now. I was going to ask you if you could reach out to one of your Lawrence North
whenever there's an
sources.
All the information just dies. It takes an hour or two.
Also, I saw a couple other results from this evening. I don't know if you talked about them yet, but Sioux City East, let's go. Let's go, the headliners with best vocals. I didn't know if they were going to get a win this season, but I'm glad they were able to get at least one. And then Bishop Elin sweeping over Sioux Center. Can't say I wasn't shocked about that, but glad to see it happens. And Bishop Elin's got one more. They'll be at Hinton next weekend. So it'll be a very fun good day. Is a really good day. Nathan, here you go.
Any other
Here's your phone
big
back.
results tonight?
I don't know. I've been all on my own for like the last 2 hours, so
I
I've
wanna
been
see
fighting.
if we got Marysville yet.
I've been fighting the good fight. No, Marysville hasn't reported. Marysville's still doing their they're still living their best choreo life, so they're still performing.
Oh, dang, they ran behind. We caught up.
Carol won.
No, the problem is for me, most of the in between results we were supposed to get in between the big ones
Carol just won at
were
Norwell.
Carol
they
won.
dropped. Yeah, Carol dropped best visuals.
Chesterton, Pike, Anderson.
Chesterton is getting some solid results against some.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they got best vocals. They got best vocals off of.
Or yeah, best Chesterton dropped a really good, especially because that's a good Carol show. That's a really good result.
Yeah,
I haven't seen Carol yet, so I'll see them next week.
This will make it. This shows that Carol might not make finals at SCN. I would say
there are a lot of groups that might not make finals at Show Choir Nationals,
but we'll see.
I need to do my predictions.
Again, I have my predictions for nationals. I also know the second I get there, it's going to be completely thrown out the window.
I want to see where LC results end up before I say anything about Show Choir Nationals on either division.
Yeah, you got North Central, Plainfield, and
because remember, by the transitive property, Plainfield beat Zionsville the week before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it does chance to beat Plainfield again.
Lawrence Central results are just out.
Where?
Oh wait, no, that's tier 2.
That's tier 2. That's okay.
That means they're probably putting them in live though.
They're probably putting them in
live.
Okay,
they've been that way for a while.
Oh. Okay, well, Pendletones, they clutched up because they weren't first out of prelims.
They were third.
They dropped the key competition and they should have
I don't know anything about Pendletons. That's not me.
Yeah, the interesting thing about the Tier 2 division, I don't know how many people have been following along all day, is that they started in the auditorium with that set of judges, and then they headed to the...
They switched.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
For some reason. I don't know why.
I
don't know why they do that.
It's a bold, though I think maybe LC might have added those judges at the end of the night. They might have brought them over and like created one larger panel. I'm wondering.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they did the same judges.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's a jump for Pendletones. And then Batesville did take best vocals off of probably New Palestine. You would have expected to take best vocals there. So
yeah, can we talk about
the top 3?
Can we talk about Carmel getting third with best vocals? I wonder how far the distance
that kind of
was. It vocals or choreo?
Carmel accents with best vocals. Got
no, third. I would have switched the captain. I would have had Carmel with choreo.
So
I gave Carmel vocals and choreo.
I gave high voltage choreo or vocals.
I would have given high voltage vocals, but it doesn't matter. They won anyway. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, I was more saying like to be a vocals group, you have to get best vocals and be in third. Like vocals are such a heavy part of the indie sheet. I'm just surprised.
Yeah. Vocals, yeah. I mean, I was impressed by pretty much every group I saw today. Like vocally, I was impressed.
Yeah, I cannot believe the accents got vocals. I still can't believe that.
Yeah, I can't say I'm shocked, but Indy. I've said this for a while, and I'm going to continue to say it. Indiana is probably the best state for show choir. I've been saying that for a while.
And you go to Iowa Comp.
I think Iowa's third best stage for show choir. I think
what's number 2?
California. Yeah. And I'm going with that solely based on Burroughs, Losal, and Burbank. Yeah. Solely based on
Throw in like a Diamond Bar.
Throw in Cypress.
Burbank out here cooking. Burbank apparently cooked today.
I believe that because they went to Marysville.
Yeah, we think that'll be a sweep, and then if Burroughs gets a sweep, they just kind of cement California dominance.
California's
in the Midwest this year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Losal just needs to win at Orlando,
which they probably would complete the basically regional comp sweep for them.
I think Losal should win.
It's Johnston versus Losal. So
Losal will beat.
Of all the groups to face, that is like one of the premier competitions.
Yeah.
Nathan, can you check eventually, like, can you see if like anyone from LN has, because LC results have to be done. Like they are done.
Yeah. There's no way
LC,
they're like 30
LC.
minutes behind.
They should.
Especially
Yeah,
if
if you're watching the live stream, send them in, and then we'll have to check afterward.
What's up?
What's up? What's up?
If you're watching the live stream, what's up?
Welcome back to the vlog. What up, guys? No, I'm kidding.
Okay, I think we're getting a little bit tired here.
I think we're all tired. We've had a long day.
All right.
I have a 11-hour drive tomorrow. Yay!
you got this
But this is
thing.
a really fun experience. I got to go to Waffle House this morning by myself, and I survived.
Bold
so-
choice.
Well, it's Indianapolis.
Dude,
I
I
think
love
it's a
Waffle
little
House.
safer.
I
What
love-
part of Indianapolis did you go on?
I went to the one that was just south of Fishers. So
Okay,
like
so
third.
Oh, yeah, you're
it's
fine.
Incredibly
But-
safe.
Yeah,
no,
you're fine.
no risk there.
Yeah. Which one do I need to go to?
Probably
tomorrow?
like right near where Will lives.
Probably.
It's not that bad. You
Waffle
got a
House is
little-
fine, dude. Waffle House is great. I love Waffle House. It's just not in this area, so I can't. Well, it's not past a certain point. It's not past Kansas City, is what it is. But
Yeah, the teardown has become the vlog now.
yeah, welcome to the vlog. Well, because
Okay.
no, I drove 11 hours
It's-
to here.
It's
it was a
been the
drive.
vlog because I've been the only one just talking into this camera
You are
for
so
like
brave.
2.5 hours.
Tay. They call me Tommy Tough Knuckles on the streets.
That's
I-
not even your
Update on
first
LC
name.
large results. We want to know them too.
Cartoony name.
We want to know them too. If you got them, let us know. We'd love to know them.
Updates
We
on
wanna
LC.
know.
Yeah, no, we
That's
don't
what we're asking.
We're trying to figure out the LC results, and they just.
I mean, they're probably
talk about-
sent to me. They're
let's talk
just,
about,
I can't look
Fame.
at them.
Did you talk about Fame Orlando yet?
No, but we can.
Oh, I would love to.
How did you miss that?
How did so Davenport Central sweep with Sparta
Everything.
Adrenaline in second and Briarwood Christian in third, Blue Valley Chamber Singers in fourth.
Nathan, we've talked about every competition like 4 times, but it was like, have we talked about it yet? I'm like, sure, why not?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, might as well just talk about it again.
Oh, I mean, Davenport Central sweep. I didn't predict that. Shout out to Upstage Adrenaline for getting second.
Yeah, I would say.
Didn't think they had that dog
I would
in
say
them.
Davenport Central. There were some decent, like people generally thought they would do well. Like there was some doubt
Yeah.
going in, but Sparta was the big upset. I would say.
Because I think most people would have had, or would have assumed that Briarwood and Blue Valley would have beaten them.
I would say it's probably their most impressive result of the season, and it ties
Yeah.
their best statistical result, getting another second.
Another
I
second
think they're
place.
another Wisconsin group, like we talked about Sauk Prairie, that really gets to their peak right at the end of the season.
Yeah, and I liked Sparta. I saw Sparta at Bloomington Kennedy, and I think they placed about where they should have. But this is really, I'm glad Sparta's doing well today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They got
that's a
whatever
really good
Fame
result from them.
award is. I don't
Whatever
know.
Fame.
Does anyone know what that is?
I don't know.
It's probably a sportsmanship award.
that could.
Tay would probably know.
Yeah, the Fame Award. But
Fame award.
yeah, really what we're waiting on is Marysville, Wheaton, and then
And Lawrence Central.
yeah.
and Lawrence
But some
Central.
of those could have just literally gone long.
They probably are.
LC's done. LC, if they have Pendleton in, then they wouldn't have announced those in separate spots. So LC is
Well,
done.
Tay has gone to Fame before. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
why. None of us are Fame people.
I've never been to Fame.
I'm an HOA person, and they give out most improved, which I think is cool.
So what is the different? Like, why? Tell me about the most improved award because I'm not too familiar with that. Like, what is like? It sounds like it's self-explanatory.
It's just the most improved from prelims to finals.
I think it's literally
So I don't know
just
if
the
it's
score that
statistical
went
or-
up the
I think it's
most.
just the judges are like, this group we
Okay.
thought was the best
Gotcha.
performance.
Because I saw like at Orlando 2 years back, ATSC got it, but they weren't in third. They were still
Yeah.
they were in second. They still got it, and they didn't move.
I think it's
Yeah,
literally just points.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The
But-
trouble.
I mean, if I close out and come back, I'll see if someone dropped the LC results here.
Nah, but like I low key need friends before a couple ones drop. So like
Should we head out?
Yeah, I think
All
we'll,
right.
I think
Thank
we'll
you for
sign
having
off.
us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
I'll
Big
be at
day in the
we'll be at-
Showfire
We'll
world.
be at Nationals next week. That's gonna be fun.
Yes.
all
Well,
right.
you'll be at
I'll be at
nationals.
Nationals.
I'm debating.
He
it.
might be at nationals.
I'm debating.
I won't be anywhere.
I'm not. I'm here. I'm here. So
Hey, don't worry.
Yeah.
I'll be rooting for North Central for you. So
thanks, King.
let's go.
He's like, yeah, I appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Hey, no, I'm
Um,
excited to see all the groups at nationals. I think it's pretty much just banger after banger, so it's gonna be really good.
Yeah,
it's gonna be
stack lineup.
Nationals is gonna be nuts.
It's gonna be good. I'm really excited to see it, and we're gonna be at the Grand Ole Opry, dude. It's an
It's
auditorium. I
will
get
tell
to
you,
sit down, dude.
I will tell you from personal experience, being an NHS Singers 2 years ago, it's very nice. The hotel is nice. The Opry itself is
Will was in
Yeah, the
fantastic.
game
Will was there
board.
too. Will was
Yeah.
there too.
The Gaylord is so. Yep.
Will was a North Central alum, so he was there the year before you.
Oh yeah.
You almost
They-
crossed
yeah.
paths.
Almost 1 year apart.
almost. It's like me and Ava had been at the same competition at the same time, and
Yeah.
But
we
have
didn't even
never
know it.
met.
Well, you and Tim also, because Tim was
Yeah.
a Winmar alum at the same year
Mhm.
you were there.
Our light has
Home-
left here.
All right, our light's telling us it's time to go.
All right.
Yeah, we'll probably.
Good.
Yeah, it's getting quite chilly out here, but we'll sign off. Keep tracking for the last half an hour, Will. We're rooting you on.
Have fun.
Have fun.
I'll
Have
do
a
my
good night.
best. Have a good night.
Have a good
Peace out.
one. See ya.
See ya. All right, they'll look to see as they get the last couple of results. We're turning down the night with our three biggest results still remaining. We've got Marysville, we've got Wheaton Warrenville South, and Lawrence Central. We have reported Brownsburg, a major result. We also have Norwell that finished out with Carroll Magic taking a win over Chesterton Sandpipers with best choreo for Carroll Magic and best vocals for Chesterton. That's a huge result for Chesterton and a really, really good result for Carroll Magic as they'll pick up a strong result going into Show Choir Nationals where they're going to be contenders. All right, we're taking a look here at Marysville where they are just finishing their result they're just finishing their exhibition. And so they should be coming up right now on their awards, and we'll be dropping them here in a second. Do not go away. This is going to be a major result coming out of Marysville. As we look into it, we've got Ross High School Legacy, Olentangy Keynotes, Lafayette Jefferson, First Edition, Fisher's Electrum, and Burbank in Sync. This is going to be a really, really interesting set of results. Now we expect Burbank in Sync to be the main competitor leading the way at the end of the night here for them because they have been just unbelievably strong throughout the season, but expect possibly Fishers, maybe Lofjeff, really to make a look. And Ross Legacy, it's really just strong seeing them in finals being able to beat out some large mixed groups, same as Jefferson First Edition did. They beat out some large groups to finish out the night. Now we're looking, if anyone can find Lawrence Central results, that would be really helpful as we have not been able to put together kind of the finishing touches on that night, though we know one thing. North Central Counterpoints swept Lawrence Central with best vocals and best visuals. Funny enough, they're holding the flag that I put out there, and so um So North Central with best vocals, best visuals takes a sweep over likely Plainfield Bella Bow. We do not know any other results coming out of Lawrence Central yet. So we will see if there's anything else that has been that we can see from um that we can see anything else coming out of Lawrence Central, but that is the only thing that we've been able to put together. Um, um, we are looking so that is the first win of the year, or that is the third win of the year, I believe, for North Central Counterpoints. That is a huge win for them. That is the only thing we have confirmed coming out of Lawrence Central besides the second, besides the tier two. We have not been able to pick up any more of the results. That's a huge result from North Central Counterpoints as they go into um, or as they go into show choir nationals. That is going to be a major boost. That is also, I believe, their first 3-win year since COVID. So really well done by director Jared McElroy, by Dominic Montas in his second year leading the program. Really picked up a set of strong results. Other side of the Indy coin, we see um, Franklin Central and Carmel dueling, and with Franklin Central coming on top. That is a huge win for the program. Really proud of that group, really proud of what they've been able to put out on stage. We are expecting the next couple of minutes to get both Marysville and Wheaton Warrenville South. Wheaton Warrenville South should drop in a little bit longer. We may not get that by the end of the show. We'll see. We should be getting Marysville here before we close down at 1. Yeah, it was very interesting that Carmel got best vocals. I think that really speaks to the fact of how dang close. We made a graphic among homeroom, and it was all of the transitive properties, and it was how quickly it just turned into a circle. Indie Univoice is a circle. It's good luck. You did great. Like you're an amazing group. Circle. You're going in the circle. So, I mean, Carmel, phenomenal show. Zionsville, phenomenal show. Avon, phenomenal show. Carmel or FC, phenomenalist show. FC, I think my guess is FC was really, really close vocally, and Carmel was really, really good. So I guess they were so compact that then it was just those the choreo, which Tori has really done well to put on the stage to do. We're getting now Marysville results, which is going to be one of the biggest results of the night for our groups. We will see between Lafayette Jefferson, Burbank, Fishers. So we will get that out there as quickly as we can to you. That's going to be between the 5 finalists and then single clef finals, which is Fisher Sound, the Lafayette Jefferson, and Burbank Blue Impressions. Fisher Sound will look to take another grand championship, which they have so we will see how they all put together these results in what will be a difficult final judging, especially from the 2 through 5. I think that it's truly going to be really close. I think Burbank is going to be a well ahead because student size, ability, they're just really a hell of a group. So it's going to be really close for them to stay out and get a ways ahead. Once again, we've gotten Lawrence Central, at least one Lawrence Central result. We don't have the full results, but North Central High School Counterpoints took a grand championship with best vocals and best visuals. We don't know who was in second, who was in third. We don't even know finalists. We know that North Central Descants, Plainfield Femmes Fatales, and Lawrence North Bella Rivada were in the finals. So we know only that North Central won best vocals and best visuals. So that is their third win of the season, a massive result for the program. That's a third win for them. They've really put something special out on stage, really put something that matters out on stage. So they'll be going out well ready to go for show choir nationals, and they will likely be a finalist and be one of the contentions for a strong result there. They'll face Indy Standout Center Grove Sound System, so it'll be really tough for them to crack into that top 1 to 2 or track 1 to 2 against Homewood. We're waiting for Marysville results right now. We will try our best to get those to you before the end of the show. I cannot guarantee Wheaton, Warrenville South. They are on stage, but this show does end at 1, and I do fear I will not. I have a bedtime that is imposed by me. So I will be going to sleep with once we get done with this program. So we are going to get started here with Marysville Awards, and I will drop them um, as soon as we get them. And we are so excited to bring those to you right there at the end. Uh, for non-mixed univoice, second runner-up, Burbank Blue Impressions. Burbank was able to put together a straw. They come down from California to face some top indie group, or to face some really, really strong univoice groups, and come out with a first runner up. Always got to love Burbank that they come out there and show some really strong best choreography. Fisher's Sound, Sound. They have been truly amazing after a joint win with Fisher's Center Grove Debtones this past week. It looks like they're on glide path. Best vocals goes to Fisher Sound. They look on glide path to take another win out here. Fisher Sound truly being one of the best groups in the country. Regardless of univoice or mix, Fisher Sound takes another major win, with Lafayette Jefferson taking a well-deserved second runner-up against an amazing group in Burbank. So beating any Cali group is a major, major achievement. So Fisher Sound takes the win. Fisher's obviously extremely excited about taking another win, especially after the joint win last week. So they have truly just floating on air. Now we get to the interesting things for mixed finals awards. Fourth runner-up goes to Ross Legacy. A very strong show. They were making it to finals was a big move for them because they were able to put together, they were able to get into finals as a massive achievement for the group. So don't discount this as a bad result. That was a great result for them. Olentangy gets third runner-up. That is a solid result for the group. Now we get into some of the most interesting we get between Fishers, Lafayette Jefferson, and Burbank. Second runner-up goes to Lafayette Jefferson, First Editions. A solid result for the group. They're only sitting around 25 students, so they have been able to put a phenomenal amount of sound on stage with a limited number of individuals. It's very, very strong. Best choreography goes to Burbank in Sync. Burbank will likely sweep this competition. They are a hell of a group. So, looking at the end of the night, Burbank looks to be leading the way, with best vocals going to Burbank in Sync. Burbank will sweep this competition, coming to California, taking one of the major competition wins. Major win for Burbank, major win for that program. They have truly come out, it looks like, the class of the California field. They have shown and blitzed that field, and their first win, they were able to beat Los Alamitos Sound Effects. Now with another strong national win, they will come back and they will face their biggest rivals in both Sound Effects and John Burroughs Powerhouse at Oceanside. Fishers, a really strong result after losing to Lafayette Jefferson early at the season. This is a major result for them as they were able to. Oh, and that's great. The Marysville Trophy comes with a dinosaur. Um, there's some really cool interactions between Lafayette Jefferson and Burbank. They're very happy. Everyone seems that is an end to Marysville. Burbank with the grand championship with best vocals, best visuals. Fisher's in second, Loft Jeff in third, Olentangy in fourth, and Ross in fifth. That leaves us with very few results left to go on the night. We will take a look and see if anyone's able to track down kind of the full Lawrence Central results. That would be amazing. That's really what we're waiting on. I'll run through the final bit of results for you guys. DeKalb Classic for finals at Columbia City Cup. We got those a while ago. If I'm remembering correctly, it was Huntington Northrop Charisma or Huntington North Varsity Singers, followed by Northrop Charisma, followed by Homestead Class Royale. Los Al has yet to report. Let me see if Sound Effects has finished up their performance. No, they're still going, so we don't have anything coming out of Los Al. Manchester, the Cote Classic. Costa Classic, we have Midlothian just for show. Matoka High Impact and Cape Teuton Harbor Lights. We have Marysville Showcase with Burbank in Sync coming in and putting a hell of a show on stage with best choreo and best best vocals. Fisher's Electrum with best show concept and best vocalist, and the judges' choice of Release the Sass, really putting a strong work out there, getting a second place. Lafayette Jefferson, small group, big sound, comes out, gets third place overall. Olentangy keynotes with the third runner-up with the judges' choice of Pinball Trio, and Ross High School Legacy with the fifth runner-up. Miller North Galaxy of Stars finished with the Sioux City East with best vocals, Grand Island 14 Karat Cold with best visuals, Harrisonville Music Makers with second runner-up, Sioux City East Entourage, and then Sioux City East Prestige, and then Norfolk Senior High School. That is a huge result for Sioux City East. Really solid result for the program. Horizon Step on Stage comes out strong at Vala Vista, taking music and show with Diamond Bar Marquee right on their heels. Broadway Bound from Boulder Creek comes out to put a hell of a result out there. Cypress also coming into the party with La Cueva, bringing it up and putting a strong result there, or putting a strong show out there in the mixed division tier 1. We're still waiting on our last big result at Wheaton Warrenville South. Aberdeen Central only competed with Aberdeen groups because they were unable to host it due to the weather. Daniel Hand Vibe put out one of the best shows of the day with best vocals and best visuals. They were followed by South Windsor Choral Spectrum with best band, and Tantasqua coming in third overall. The big upset of the day, Franklin Central FC Singers putting out one of the best shows and best runs they've had in a very long time to take best vocals from Carmel Ambassadors in the win, as Carmel set second with best visuals, Zionsville in second runner-up with best band, and Avon Accents third runner-up. Then the Indie Univoice Circle continues with Franklin Central FC ISO High Voltage taking best visuals, Franklin Central or Zionsville Corollaires taking first runner-up with best band, and Carmel Accents taking the second runner-up with best vocals, and Avon Attraction finishing out the night. Cathedral Address Adrenaline finish their strong season with their second win of the year with best vocals and best visuals here at Brownsburg, a comp they added. Davenport Central put a strong show on stage to get Fame Orlando with best vocals and best choreo. Sparta, Irish Upstage Adrenaline really came out strong, overtaking. Um, and we've got a little bit more from um, LC. Plainfields Femmes Fatales won grand championship with best vocals and best visuals. I can assume I'm not sure then who was right behind them, with North Central Descants having and Lawrence North Bella Ravata being really close the week prior. So the other one, Luke, that I know is North Central won with the grand championship there with a sweep. I assume they were followed by Plainfield, but I don't want to speak out of turn. Fame Orlando finished with Briarwood Radica and Blue Valley Chamber Singers in third and fourth. 8th Street Singers and Company in Tift County, and Evolution from American Leadership Academy. Green Bay Southwest Packerland Powerhouse Showcase. I continue to say the full name because it's really fun. With Dupree Jam Session, Manteno Magic, Bayport Pandemonious, still not saying the name, Encore, and Treble Center Stage. Your top three there being Jam Session with the Grand Championship, a really strong result for that Wisco Show Choir. I think our boss, Will Soki, is still waiting at Marysville, so he will not, looks like, be on the show this week. Pendleton Height Pendletones took best choreography in tier 2, and we know that Plainfield's Femmes Fatales competed at 8:30 and Cook the grand championship with best vocals and best visuals. We also know that North Central Counterpoints won with best vocals and best visuals, but did not but we don't know any of the other. We don't even know the finalists from that. We just know that North Central took that win. Amazing win for both programs. Robert C. Byrd, Vocal Intensity, after a week coming to Franklin Central, comes out as a winner, same as that program, with Robert C. Byrd taking best vocals and best choreo. Pop Singers from Jefferson High School right behind him. Mount Vernon Midwinter Classic with Joplin. Sound Dimensions with best vocals and best choreography. Joplin joining Touch of Class right behind him with best shoes. That is awesome caption. Best shoes. I love that. McDonald County Rhapsody in Rhythm with second runner-up with best opener. Joplin Men of Note, third runner-up. Joplin just killed this competition. Cassville Center Stage with fourth runner-up with best ballad, and Cole Camp Encore with fifth runner-up at Mount Vernon. Norwell Carol Magic won with best choreo. Chesterton Standpipers with best vocals. Pike Encores with third runner-up. Anderson Swingers Unlimited, and Alliance Jazz Centers in fourth runner-up. Westwood Jubilation, Harmonia Mundi, won with best vocals and best choreo. Sioux Center Satisfaction with best band. Synergy Burbank High School, or from Burke High School, Synergy with second runner-up. West Connection Bellevue High School, Magnifique Bishop Helene Catholic School, and Sergeant Bluff Luton High School Unleashed. Winfield Emerald Elegance, the All-Americans, ETC, coming in with their first win of the year. Herbert High Impact, a really strong result for them. Sorry, I got to go back. Hoka Visual, or ETC Rouge, coming in second runner-up. Visual Volume Polka High School, third runner-up, and Cabell Midland High School in fourth runner-up. That takes us to the end of our results. We are waiting, hopefully, before this show ends, and we have Wheaton Warrenville South with, in fifth runner-up, El Paso Grinley Modulations. Fourth runner-up, Wabanasi Soundcheck. Third runner-up, Mount Zion Swing Stations. Second runner-up, Omaha South The Ambassadors, Wheaton North Flight, Best Band, and John Burroughs Powerhouse with outstanding soloist Evan Baker, best vocals, and best visuals. Strong result from John Burroughs. Phenomenal result from Wheaton North Flight. Phenomenal result from Omaha South. That is their really strong, showing the strong second half of their season. A lot of work done there. Mount Zion swing stations, Wilderness sound checks, phenomenal programs. Not where we often expect them to be, but they've been. Mount Zion had 2 wins this year, so they've already put 2 really strong shows out there. Soundcheck really coming back to the fray. We're glad to see them back in finals, but just making finals of this comp really is a testament in itself. They had over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 groups going to finals. So over half of the groups that competed got cut going into finals. So making finals at this competition, really just a massive, massive achievement. With that, we close into the final 5 minutes of the show. I will stay with you till 01, and we will see where we finish out the night. Los Alamitos Extravaganza should be reporting here in a second. They have finished their night. They have finished their stream. So we can assume those results have already happened or are finishing up now. So we'll see if those results drop that I can see. It doesn't either. They waited and they didn't announce results. Overall, a really amazing day of show choir. I have been really a pleasure to be with you these last 3 hours and talk about some show choir, talk through some really interesting results. Overall, I think the best result of the day obviously goes to Franklin Central. That win against Carmel is their second win in 10 times of asking. Carmel's a phenomenal program, and that's just not something that happens every week. Franklin Central ends the year on something they can be truly proud of. And Carmel has the chance to rebound next week at Noblesville in what will be a really strong and will be a really fun comp. For them, they'll get one last look of their show. So really excited to see how that turns out. Carmel was 1 win away from this ends their perfect season, but they will likely end with 4 wins, and 4 wins is absolutely nothing to scoff at. So 4 wins. So that is a very strong set of results from Carmel. They will finish the year. Zionsville will finish with 1 win and being extremely close once again to the best groups in Indianapolis in the one of the most competitive circuits around. They have displayed their ability to win week in, week out. They've done everything they possibly can to be where they need to be. And so they will look and see once again, they will re-rack it in 2027. Skull looked to be a phenomenal and successful show, and they really did a great job. With that, we will likely not see the full Lawrence Central or Los Al results while this show is still on. For those, yeah, sorry, I know you missed the Brownsburg talk. We had Circle City Show Choir on. We discussed it at length. Overall, Franklin Central, hell of a job from Franklin Central. Carmel, amazing show. Zionsville, amazing show. At the end of the day, um, that set of 8 groups at the end of the night was about as good as you're going to get across the country at nearly any competition. And the only time it's probably going to get beat, it would be next week when we see what can only be described as a phenomenally interesting show choir nationals. Um, thank you all for watching. If you have any final questions, any final things we want to talk about, um, I think I'll be ending the teardown for this week. Your 3 hours of commercial-free show choir have concluded. Unless there are any final questions, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next week at Show Choir Nationals. Thank you. Oh, well, I'll answer one more. Powerhouse killed it. Powerhouse is a phenomenal show. They've done everything they could have. It's insane. I mean, you skate. They're skating on stage. What do you do with that? The vocals are insane. I fell in love with last year's show. It was probably my favorite show of the year. I watched it every single time there was a new version dropped. I would go check in and see improvements that had been made. Um, Powerhouse was just crazy. The vocals are insane. Um, there's also it's just that there are a couple performers that I have watched since Penelope Graves, and I've seen them kind of grow in their abilities, and that's been pretty cool. So it's just a phenomenal set of performers. Powerhouse is a hell of a group. Really, really just amazing set of programs. And I'm really happy for them that they were able to pick up a result at the end of the night. Congratulations to Powerhouse. Congratulations to everything that they were able to put on stage. Thank you also as someone who lives near New York City doing what I think is the most accurate New York City show I've seen all year. With that, unless there is any last things, this has been the teardown for 3/14, now 3/15, 2026. We finished the year. Thank you so much to everyone who has been here with me for the past 3 hours. My name is Will Kaiser. I'm an indie contributor with Homeroom Show Choir, sitting in for Chris Mendoza. Thank you and good night.